Hello, my name is Matt Danner, Associate Winemaker at King Estate, and with the Thanksgiving holiday right around the corner, it's such a perfect time to showcase and talk about and I think enjoy what wine and food and how they go together and how they really bring out great aspects of each. So I think sparkling wine traditionally doesn't get enough respect in its versatility to work with so many types of food. I think so many times we think of sparkling wine as a celebratory, a toast to start the meal. But to me, sparkling wine has enough acidity, it has enough texture, and it has those components that can cut through really rich and really fatty types of dishes. So with your mashed potatoes and your creamy dishes, your gratin potatoes will really still work well with sparkling wine. It has enough acidity, it has enough bubbles to help kind of cut through some of that richness, and so it brings out different elements together. So I really love bringing sparkling wine to a Thanksgiving meal. Our 2019 Brut Cuvée is a traditional method sparkling, so this wine is really a wine of a lot of love. A lot of work, a lot of artistry, a lot of craftsmanship goes into making this wine because we take a lot of time to make selective press cuts before we even make the base wine. We ferment that all the way dry. We blend the Pinot Noir and Chardonnay together, and then it goes into bottle for a secondary fermentation, and that's where all the bubbles are created, all that magic happens in bottle, and then it spends another 3 years minimum, in this case 4 years on the lees in tirage, and that's going to add a lot more of those bready, almost pie crust type kind of pastry elements that are all coming from that time in bottle. And I think that's where this can really shine on so many levels across your Thanksgiving meal. I might stay away from really sweet dishes because I think the acidity won't totally marry with a really sweet dish, but I think you could still add something that's citrusy. Any canapé that you're starting your meal with that's got flaky crust is going to be a slam dunk with this wine. So if we look here right at the edge of the foil, we'll see this little indicator, and that says that this is a great place to start tearing the foil. So this top ring is perforated, and that way we can tear the foil mostly just to keep everything intact. I think there's a lot of really cool artistry that happens in this foil that actually allows these creases. You'll notice that there's pleats on this foil, and that's unique to traditional method sparkling, especially champagne. So as this perforation will take us around, it'll expose the cage. So now this cage is keeping the cork on, and this is special for high carbonation beverages, so especially like sparkling wine. This is about 3 bars, so much higher carbonation than you would see in something like beer or even your forced carbonated wines. And I'm not going to take the cage all the way off because that's a chance for this cork to suddenly shoot off before I'm ready. So I always keep the cage, I get it loose, but I keep the cage on so I still have a safety mechanism. And then I'm going to start twisting, starting to feel the cork loosen, and there we go. As we'll notice, this is a tulip shaped glass, and I'm not using the traditional flute. I personally like to enjoy sparkling from a wider glass. It allows more aromatics to come through. Yes, maybe I'm missing out on some of the finer bubbles that you're gonna see in the flute, but for me, the aromatics and those flavors that come off of those aromatics, the retronasal, is so important. What's not to love? I mean, the palate's really full. It's really bright, it's super energetic palate, but it still has so many nuances. There's white peach and apple pie. There's an apple pie crust that's even there too, a little bit of brioche from all that lees aging. There's even a little bit of minerality, almost like a wet stone, like a fresh Oregon rain, kind of coming down the rocks. This is a really fun wine. I think it just goes so well with so many types of food, but it can also be a great companion for you in the kitchen when your family's all around. getting on your nerves, you know, this is what that's for.